All right, we have officially started the recording.
Should I wait for you to introduce me?
Let's go ahead and start. So thank you everybody for coming on this lovely Friday afternoon. A reminder that Lauren Klein will be our guest speaker next week. She is an expert on the digital humanities, and I will be sending out more information about her probably on Tuesday. And as usual, I will invite people outside the cohort as well. Today we have Zan joining us. Zan was a member of the second cohort, and she is going to be talking to us today about a wide range of strategies, including using the whiteboard, using breakout rooms, Kahoot, sharing PowerPoints, and all sorts of other great things like that. So at this point, I will turn it over to Zan, who has been made co-host for this meeting as well.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for inviting me. And if we could just have a quick round of, I know most people, but not everybody, obviously. So maybe you could just tell me what your discipline is, now that you've told me about your week. Let's go with, I'll just start on my screen here with, I know that Paul and Leslie are librarians. That's easy. I know Chris is DMD. Okay. Ryan, ecology. Yeah. Oh, this could be a test for me. I like this. Thayer is sports and recreation management. And Tom is the Canvas guru of all things instructional. Melinda is history. Helene is biology. Frank is political science. Catherine is ecology. Morris Jones, I don't know you. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, Zan. I'm Morris Jones. I'm the chemistry, one of the chemistry professors, general chemistry mostly.
Nice to meet you, Morris. Welcome. And Shannon, your colleague, is virtually sitting right next to you. Also chemistry, right, Shannon? And Rudra, physics. Oh, I'm cheating now. Look at that. He's got his physics up there. Jenny, psychology. Great. Nice to see you. John Lund, history. Andrew. I don't think I know Andrew. You want to introduce you to me?
Yeah, I am an ecologist. Yeah, that's it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Andrew. I know
Nice to meet you too, Zan.
Is an instructional technologist. Tiffany Lane, I think you are in the business area. Is that right, Tiffany?
Yep, exactly. Accounting.
Accounting. And Shally Page. Remind me what you're up to these days.
Raising little worms.
Love it. Good. That's a great answer. All right. So generally, folks, I warm up the room like this. I call people by name. I chat with them a little bit. I ask them in the meantime, as people roll in, to go ahead and rate their week. And then usually I hit on a little bit of critical kind of thinking with an analysis question. And generally it goes like this: analysis, what do you notice? Do you see any patterns in the chat? Patterns? What do you notice? I like to warm up the crowd this way. Seems like in every field we're analyzing things, right? So, and what I want to invite you to do, if you haven't played on the whiteboard yet, I would like it if you could, probably at the top of your screen, you're seeing it where it says you are seeing Prof. Z's screen. I'm using my instructor thing. Right next to it is options, and then drop down a couple down there and it's annotate. And then you get a little toolbar and you can use text. Oh, I see give it a 5. I saw give it a 5. Somebody tried that and then they erased it. Yes, you can erase things too. There's a little eraser. And you can draw things. Look at that. Nice. Okay, the other thing you can do with this before we get to the analysis, Beatles rule. That's right. I tend to encourage a little flaming in class just to blow off steam. You can also use a stamp. Do you see where it says stamp there? Yes, that's right. Heart. If you agree with whoever posted in the chat, oh, wait, it was right here. Somebody posted that. So, yeah, so you can use these little, somebody had erased it though. It was a weird week. It was a weird week. If you agree with that, let's see, what stamp haven't people, just put a check mark stamp if you agree with that. Yeah, yeah, check marks. There you go. It was a weird week. I said it was weird. Nice. All right, good. So back to business. So what do you notice? Any patterns in the chat about people's, are there high scores, low scores? How are people rating it? What are you noticing?
Most people didn't rate it.
Oh,
There's only 3 ratings. We're not
Oh.
good at following instructions.
Good. That's an interpretation. Nicely done. All right.
Oops.
Good. Thank you. And we like COVID is in there. Yeah, weather, ups and downs. Okay, great. All right, so once we're all warmed up here, what I do generally is, and we've played with the whiteboard because who doesn't like to draw on the board? Yes, and if you use a particular arrow, you get your name in it like Thayer's doing there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna head out to breakout rooms. And in the breakout rooms, I'm going to try to create the breakout rooms. We've had some chatting about this. Will Zan be able to make the breakout rooms? I actually don't see that. So Paul is going to help me make those breakout rooms. Even though I'm the co-host, I don't have a lot of power apparently.
All right. Well, all right. So
Just-
I'm gonna assign automatically, if that's okay, Zan, because
Yeah, random is great.
okay, because assigning manually with a group this big would take a long time. So I am
Right.
good. Should I go ahead and hit create for that then?
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me think about how big the group should be. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, what do we got? We got 21. Holy shamoly. Oh, so we have to either divide them into 3 groups or 7 groups.
Yeah.
Let's go with 7. Let's go with 7. That sounds like fun.
Okay, so 7 breakout rooms.
7 breakout rooms. Don't open them yet though.
Okay. So
Because when I open them too soon, people are like, what are we doing?
okay, so you tell me when I hit create, okay?
Oh, go ahead and create them. Just
Okay.
don't open them.
All right.
All right, here we go. It's the Zan and Paul show.
Tell me when to open them.
Okay, will do. All right, now, one thing I would like to know from you, besides the rate your week, is what has your experience been with breakout rooms in your own classrooms?
I found out the hard way that when you're using the poly, the room is the host. And so you have to reassign the host on the little tablet thing. I tried doing it, but if you come in, I got so confused. If you bring your laptop and you come in from the link in Outlook, then you're the host. But if you come in from a link you posted, which I did, you're not the host. So
Wow.
that was the fun of one of my days. So
that is brilliant. These are just the kind of stories I want to hear. I don't, because I've been remote, I have not used the poly. So yeah.
Did anyone else have that problem? Or am I just really, yeah. Okay.
Any other experiences that people have had with breakout rooms? No?
I've used them and I like them a lot. I fortunately, not because of knowledge, just by luck, I haven't tried to use them with the poly. I've only been using them when I'm not on the poly, and I find them great. I assign tasks and then I can go check in on how they're doing and answer questions, and probably people know, but you can be paged from a breakout room, so you can go help people out.
Help. Yes. Great. Thank you, Ryan.
I had some
Right.
students in a breakout room who didn't know that when they posted things to chat, that it didn't just go among them. So that was not terrible, but a little awkward.
Yes, I have had to do a little discipline around the chat as well. Everybody's behaving themselves today. That's nice. Yeah, that's good. All right, so here we go. So this is what we're going to do in the breakout rooms. And I can't see the breakout rooms either. But what I want you to do is if you would, I think you can handle this. You like to chat, right? So what I'd like you to do is first, you're going to go to a link, and I'm going to put that link in the chat. Before you go, don't just click it and go away though, okay? Because I've had that problem with Trigger Happy. No, don't poke that link. Okay, so here's the link you're going to go to. And what that is it's an Office 365 PowerPoint. Each group is going to have their own slide. So let me go ahead and pause the share here and get to a new share, which will be my slides. And what you're gonna see is, I always find this difficult to do. Here we go. So we're gonna fool around with thinking about unconscious bias and flipping the digital classroom. It's a bait and switch thing that I like to do. And so this is what we're gonna do. First, you're gonna play Kahoot as a team, okay? And I'm gonna put the Kahoot link in there as well. Second, you're going to brainstorm together about how you might rethink your own curriculum or pedagogy, fill in the blank, yourself as a teacher. And then third, you're going to use one of the blank slides, because the rest of these are blank, to report out to us. Okay? See all those blank slides? Yeah. All right. So that's what you're going to do.
I don't see any slides. I just see the whiteboard.
Yeah. I was going to say I'm still seeing the whiteboard too. Yep.
Ta-da!
There we go. Okay.
You're all skydiving with me today.
Right.
All right.
Zan,
So, yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Do I need to create any options on the breakout rooms before I open them when you tell me to open them? Like how long we're going to be in there and stuff like that, or?
Oh, probably let's do a time check and decide do we end promptly at 4:50, is that right?
Well,
So-
we end at 5, but we
okay.
we'd like to have plenty of time for questions at the end.
Great. So let's go till 4:30, like 15 minutes or so.
Okay, so I should sorry for my lack of experience here. I should hit options here, and one of the options is going to be how long we're in the breakout rooms.
That has been my experience, but I'm not positive.
All right, let's see.
Because everything seems to change. Like it could
breakout
be
rooms close automatically after 30 minutes.
I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing so I can see you all again here.
Okay.
And make sure I have my
countdown timer to 60 seconds. Okay, let's see. So we're going for 15 minutes.
Yup.
Notify me when time is up, and the countdown is 60 seconds. So I think the options have all been set. So should I open the rooms right now? Are you ready for me to do that?
Okay, hold on just a second. I want to make sure I got my links in the right place. That's the only thing I'm a little worried about. Okay, let me go ahead and put in that link. Okay, and make sure that I've given you the correct link for the, just double checking here. Yep, that looks right. Go. I'll see you back here in 15 minutes.
So I'm going to open up all the rooms now. Okay.
Yeah.
Clicking.
Great. Oh, I've been invited. Oh, you invited me to a group too. Nice. So I'm gonna see what happens when I click this. I guess I will go ahead and join room 2. I can't, so interesting because as a co-host, it says I should be able to go in and out of rooms, but I've never been able to.
So neither one of us was invited to join a breakout room. So we just need to join here on our own, right?
Well, I am actually, I ended up getting invited to room 2, which I'll go over
Oh.
to, but all I can do is go from room 2 to the main room as a co-host, which is always interesting. I can't float among the groups.
Okay, I think I'm
Well,
going to join room
I can
1.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Did you get into Paul, did Kristen get invited into a group? Are we in a breakout room or not?
well,
We're in
Well,
the main room.
I'm going to
I'm on my phone.
Oh, so couldn't you not see the breakout rooms that you were invited
No.
to?
I'm going to
No.
assign you to room 2, Kristen, right now.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect.
I
Thank you.
don't. Oh, okay. There.
All right, I'm gonna scoot into room 2 and then I'll come back and ask you to put me in another room. How's that?
Okay, I'm going to join room 4.
All right, sounds good. See you soon. Got this one going. Hmm. Ooh, join breakout room. No, I can only go back to 2. Ooh, this is fun. Breakout rooms. Oh, see, I only have access to 1. Hello.
Hi.
You're being pulled back from the ether, back.
Oh, so we might be the first ones back. Zan, we weren't sure how to go into the slides and add our comments. We all tried to
Huh.
click on the slides and add things, and we couldn't, and we saw other people doing it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what.
You know, I have students that sometimes can't get into their slides, and I don't know. I have worked with IT trying to figure it out, and but I would assume everybody here has downloaded the whole shebang-a-ranger from IT, right?
Yeah.
So
Logged into it and I can't edit anything.
that's so weird. And I have had this problem before. Usually there's somebody in the group who can edit it. Generally with students, I ask them if they have downloaded the packet from, that they're using the Office 365 that's through the university. So that's one issue.
Yeah, I mean, I use Office 365 all the time, so I'm not sure what the issue is.
Yeah. So that is a troubleshooting issue that.
Well,
let's go ahead
it's good to know what can go wrong, right?
Yes, absolutely, and
And that there's no fix for it.
yeah, I don't know. Okay, so what went wrong?
What went wrong with what?
With the some people couldn't add to the slides.
Oh, we were supposed to add to the slides? I guess that's what went wrong. we just chatted. We did the quiz and then we chatted.
Oh, and then that's great. That's a good place to begin.
We had a horrible time getting the quiz to open.
Bandwidth.
Maybe too many of us were on it at once. That could be.
I wonder.
No, getting the link, trying to click on the link and the link wouldn't open.
Link would only work in presentation mode.
Yeah, it only opened in presentation mode.
Yeah, we started the PowerPoint, and then while I was in the PowerPoint, then I clicked on it.
Yeah, well, we finally figured it out, but it took us a while.
Oh,
I forgot my nickname.
So, okay, so maybe let me just use one. So folks that have tried to use this, let me just put in, maybe I'll take some notes in here so we can just fool around with this and you can still go back. So people still can't, some people can write on it and some people can't. I would like to know if you would be willing to tell me, or I can write who can't get in so I can try to keep troubleshooting this. It's making me crazy and my students crazy. So,
it looks like I finally was able to add something on slide 9. I think I can't remember what I thought I'd just be able to click on it and start adding stuff, but maybe I had
you have to insert a text box.
Yeah, I think that's what I finally figured out, is that I had to insert a text box, and I think that's what I did on slide 9.
I think it would have been easier for us if it had been pre-populated with text box, because we spent a long time trying to figure out how to do that.
Right.
Good,
okay. All right. This is kind of a fascinating exercise to see how specific and your directions have to be before you get the students trying to do what you want them to do.
Yes, this is great. Okay. So
you also have to refresh your screen to see what's in the slides on the left in Office 365.
I didn't know that.
Hey, Zan. So do you gamify learning like that with your students with Kahoot?
Yes, this is what I do. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yep. It makes it a nice. I did that all the week before because everybody was dragging them sad selves around.
Zan, we were wondering why you didn't choose a all of these answers are correct option. It seemed like sometimes all 4 of them were correct.
Confusing, yeah.
And that struck us as a little confusing. Instead of listing 3 and then the 4th option being all of the above or something like that.
Yeah, I I decided to use, and by the way, this quiz is a quiz that I selected from Kahoot. I did not create it. It doesn't have any points, and it's got this weird thing going on where it doesn't say all of the above. It just does this. Yeah, and you can't get extra points for clicking like 1 or 2, you know? And I liked it because it's sort of, the thing that it does, I think, is that it's focused. It seems to me that it focuses the attention on on getting all of the information out quickly. So I see how it's confusing. I like it because it's unexpected, and that it doesn't matter if you pick 1 or all 4, you still win, you know? So I like it that it deviates from the norm, this particular, I don't know who created it, but I have been playing with it. Yeah, obviously it's more exciting to get points and see the podium and all of that, but I kind of like the idea that you don't know how many are supposed to be the right ones.
Yeah, it does. It makes you read all of the answers too. You can't just go, oh, I got that one, and go.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So all of that was useful because I do find that because I put this one alongside some other ones that had points, and they were just trying to, get the points. They weren't reading the darn thing. So I think, yeah.
Because
So,
there's
yeah.
additional points on how quickly you answer the question. Yeah. So, yeah.
Right. Even though I disabled the whole time thing too. So I don't know. Yeah. So the quickness thing I find as a distraction. It's fun, and yet it doesn't get to the learning bit. It skips over it. Ooh, look, I'm going to take a look at the chem classroom. Prior to class, right. Done in class, post lab has done his homework. Nice. Thank you. It's beautiful. Nicely done.
Dan, may I ask you something? So when you gamify, you're gamifying in the different rooms, right?
Yeah. So
I'm just asking how many people you got, about how many rooms on average would you say?
On average, I've been doing 5 rooms. And when I go in Kahoot and I click play, then I choose assign instead of traditional or play in class. And then that way I provide the link, and then they go into their rooms and they do what you all did. Yep. So about 5 rooms, and then they play. And I've done it over, I had a set of 5 Kahoots for them to work through. And the first thing they had to do was do a pre-test about what do you know about this? What do you know about that? And then play the Kahoot, and then what did you learn out of it? So it was over a series of a week, 3 distinct days.
You ask each team to just pick one nickname?
Yes.
Okay, so they and I, we each picked our own nicknames. So, but we did discuss it together.
And that happens too.
And do you use those? Do you grade those at all, or no?
No, because what I have them do then after they do the Kahoot, they debrief and then write what they learned.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
And post it in discussions, in Canvas discussions.
The Kahoot's sort of like the stimulus, and then.
Yes, exactly. It's like a pretest. It warms them up, mixes it up a little bit. Yeah. So they don't have to be listening to me all the time. And that's where they get the points. Where they say what they've learned. And like I said, I have them do a pre first. What do you know about this stuff? And then do the Kahoot. What did you learn? Yeah. So I like this idea of pre-populating the boxes. I'm definitely going to do that next time. I'm so used to working in a blank one that I have forgotten that it's sort of strange.
Dan,
Yeah.
when you use the whiteboard, do you ever have like I had my whole class do what you just did with us in one room, and it didn't work. There was too much delay and refresh. It just did not work. Have you ever had that problem? So does it only happen when they're all in one room? I mean,
wonder.
People who are remote, and then the people, but no one they'd write and it wouldn't show up. And
wow, no, I haven't had that problem remotely. And I don't know, has anybody else tried that on the Poly? Because I haven't been on campus to use the Poly, so I've only ever, yeah. I mean, because of that whiteboard thing, well, I guess you have to refresh here. I mean, I actually did a matching thing because you can, of course, you can use a blank slide and have them annotate as well. Right. So you can actually, all of you can annotate on this blank slide if you wanted to. So sometimes I've done like a row of, I've inserted text boxes and, said, I don't know, like, I've done, let's see, first you can copy and paste and paste and paste. That's not what I wanted to do. Let me see here. Yeah, so you can add, you can, and I don't know if it would be easier or harder to do it this way. It's interesting. It seems to be more annotating, more are annotating. I like that. Yeah, so and nobody else has tried to do the whiteboard in classes? No, yeah. Huh. Because I've had them draw arrows to things too, like I've, and that works as well, like doing on the drawing thing. And that's worked pretty well, whether it's on this or on the whiteboard itself. I mean, because every slide is a whiteboard when you're in the presentation mode. I also teach them to share their screens.
I mean, I find that the chat groups too work when you're completely remote, but when they're in the room, there's too much noise and they can't hear. Did anyone else have that problem? Ryan, you didn't have that problem? Chat groups when they're in the room?
Breakout rooms in the rooms?
Yeah, the breakout rooms. That's what I'm trying to say, the breakout rooms.
Oh, I don't think I've done breakout rooms when we're all in the same room. I think I've only used that technique when we're remote.
Yeah, it worked great the other day when I was feeling ill and didn't go to school. But I mean, when I'm in the room, they're all like, I can't hear, and then they can't move. So confusing.
Yeah, I haven't tried it that way.
Yeah, they're not allowed to move and sit next to each other, so they can't.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, this is for remote, really. It's not really for in person, but then you've got this problem with sitting next to each other and not. Yeah.
Would it help if they like brought headphones or AirPods or whatever, and then basically then you can hear it right in your ear and you can talk into it, sort of? I mean, I know I'm wearing headphones today, but I know I did that sometimes when I was in the tent. I had some Bluetooth AirPods that I could pair to my computer, and that way I could hear students on Zoom when I wasn't next to my computer, and then they could hear what I was saying when I was walking around.
Wow, so headphones. I'm just taking notes here.
And I have to say, I got that idea from my kids who seem to permanently walk around with one headphone in all the time.
Did you say those are your own kids?
My own kids.
I often had students that were, when those AirPod things first came in, you know, like everybody had their little cases and it was always in one ear. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. So what other sort of, one thing I've been thinking about is a grading contract for to make so that it's based on largely based on labor rather than perfection. And the research shows that because students who come to university and universities discourse is grounded in white middle class ways of knowing and speaking, students that whether they're international or they don't come from a white middle class background have more difficulty in classes across the board. And so one way to get around that is to do something called a grading contract, to put one together. And there's great models out there for grading contracts that if you do all the labor of the class, you know, which is set up so that you can't not learn basically doing the labor, that you get a B. If you fulfill everything on time and all of that, you get a B. And then the A is reserved for, you know, higher. And that seems to especially at the undergraduate level, change the who gets who gets the information and doesn't get discouraged by the kind of grading that we do. That's always because we use writing to evaluate in across the fields. Then that takes out that one possible way of they're not being graded on not having been exposed over and over to white middle class ways of knowing and using language.
A quick question. What about our Black middle class students?
They generally do pretty well on it, but it's which is why I say it's more about language than it is about if there's a work by that's called Ways with Words that where they looked at an elementary school actually, but they had working class whites, working class blacks, two separate neighborhoods, and then what she called the townspeople, which were black and white kids, but middle class, you know, and they just consistently did better in school. And she makes a compelling, it's an ethnographic study, a compelling case that it is familiarity with codes, white middle class codes, why students are so there's two layers, you know, there's learning the stuff that's hard to learn, right? And then there's these ways with words. So yes, and in short, yes, the black middle class kids do just fine.
Frank, I think Frank has his hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Let me just get out of this thing. Go ahead.
Okay. And then the PowerPoint, do you have the students, you have each team take on a slide in response to your prompt or conceptual prompt?
That's right. Yeah. And I often will label this. I sometimes label the slides, but they seem to just they get in there before I can do it. And then they're on other people's slides. So that's why I tried the entirely blank slide this time. But I can
now, do you, well, yeah, I don't mind the blank slide. I just choose a format from PowerPoint, but do they, well, also gives them a chance to figure out how they want the slide to be formatted. So that's okay.
Yeah, you have to give them a little bit more time. Usually I give them a good solid, 20 minutes or so, and then they,
So you have them do that now. Now, is that something that you assess grade wise or no?
No,
Okay, all right.
no,
So
these
you,
are all low stakes, all
Right.
low stakes, priming the pump.
I
get
get it.
them interested.
That's
Yep,
right. Very
Yep.
good. Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
It's very nice stuff. I like what you're sharing, Zan. Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.
Katie Beth had an interesting question in the chat about allowing students to choose their own due dates.
Yeah. Yeah, that is an interesting. I have not entirely done that, although I have been in default. I do. I don't tend to be really, I negotiate.
Good one, Shally, in the chat, by the way.
Well, I don't teach. I don't teach like semester long classes, at least not at this juncture. But, I was thinking about what if you were to give your students choose one of 3 due dates, and you
Yep.
can take a look at your calendar and see what else you might have due around that time. And then
Mhm.
it's like a sign up slot. Like I choose this day. I would think that it would also make it easier as far as grading, because you're not, grading all the same assignment at once. You can kind of
Yeah.
pace yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I have a colleague who does first come, first served. You get it in and you get it back, which also staggers it. And yeah, that works up until about, 3 weeks to the end of the semester. And then I tell them, you do not want to finish the semester after I've finished it. Yeah.
I haven't done choose your own deadline, but I have done choose your own order of project. So this one class I teach, they have to complete 4 major projects. One's a video project, one's an audio project, one's a design project, and one's a photography project. And so there were 4 set due dates for those, but I let them pick what order they want to do them in. So as long as I get all 4 done and they hit all 4 deadlines, I don't care what order they do them in. And that has been interesting. It's been the way I sell it to them is I say so this is a digital storytelling class. So I say you might already have some skill in, say, shooting photographs. So maybe you want to get the low hanging fruit out of the way first, or maybe because you're confident in those skills, you'll save that for the end and tackle the more difficult stuff up front or whatever. It gives them some flexibility.
I like that. Give and choice. Yeah. Choice.
Yeah, what's interesting is when we hit the due dates, then we get a variety of stuff to review.
Yeah.
You get a couple of audio, a couple of video, that sort of thing.
In my class, I'm doing team presentations of sites for careers related to their major. And today was the day that we had that discussion. I said, okay, so we've got 6 teams. You're going to present on 6 different days. When would you like it to be due? Do you want to be equal and it's all going to be due the first week of April? Or is it going to be due the day before you do your presentation? and it was interesting and it was fairly evenly split until they had a chance to talk about it a little bit more. And then it said, well, let's do them the day before the presentation. I said, that's fine. That's what we'll do then.
Yeah.
And I did say to them, however, given that model, they have to agree that they're going to be a little bit easier on the first presentation teams because you're going to be able to evolve your presentation based upon what's been done before. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear how that goes. I usually tell them, be prepared this week. And we're presenting Monday and Wednesday, and I will cold call you. So make sure that you've got your ducks in a row.
You never know when.
All right, it looks like a number of people are indicating via chat that they have to leave. So we might want to wrap up. Zan, any final thoughts?
It's all an experiment. And I'm pretty upfront about that. You tell me how this is going, and I'm still pawing through my mid-semester reflections to see what's working with them, for them, and what's not, and any tips they have for me regarding any of this stuff. So so it's a lot of fun, and I really feel like my son, when he was looking at colleges, he came back and said, I really like this one lecturer because he really made you feel like, you know, he was part of the team and together you were tackling the subject and figuring it out together. And so I really ran with that idea, and it's been really useful for me. So
Yeah, I think that I think a lot of these things are touching on like the open pedagogy approach, which I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan of, even though it can be difficult to really implement well. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And yeah, so also somebody had a question, I'll stick around. I don't want to make people stick around, but there are some questions that I can answer, like Shally's how to you can save the whiteboard and bring it back. I'm happy to share the secrets of that. Sarah D'Angelo and Antonio and I had an extended play session on the whiteboard and figured it out. So I have things to share, other things to share. So, but thank you so much for your generosity and your feedback. And I will save it on the slide that you now all have access to. And, you know, who knows what might happen next. So thank you so much. And continue to work with IT and keep pestering them about this stuff. Because obviously all classrooms are not the same. Hope you all.
That was very interesting,
Thank you, Zan.
Zan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think
Yeah, have
learned-
a great weekend. You've earned it. Yes. Go forth and lay in the sun.
Yeah, I think we learned a lot today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Shally. Did Shally disappear? He did. Ah, too bad.
I can catch up with him later.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's good.